Do you know that caring too much could be the very thing keeping you broke and stuck? You know, the very moment I stopped chasing approval and I stopped fearing judgment, my life changed and my confidence skyrocketed. Caring too much about opinions, about trends, about fitting in is not only exhausting, but it's actually preventing you from making real money. So in today's video, I thought it would be interesting to show you 5 things you're likely caring too much about, and I will show you how you can break free from this cycle and focus on what you need to accomplish, or should I say what really matters. Okay, the first one is caring too much about other people's progress and comparing yourself with them. One thing you should always remember is that everyone's destiny and journey is different, and you have to learn to focus on your own journey. The key word there is focus. So don't be so busy, checking on what other people are doing, maybe your friends and families, so much that you forget about your journey and loses focus, and you're no longer in your lane. Every time you compare your career, you compare your life, your journey, your progress with someone else's, what you're doing is you're taking your eyes off your lane. It's just like in a race. And when you do that, because of the distractions, the energy draining, and time wasted that comes with it, what will happen is that it will set you back. There is nothing wrong with getting inspiration from people, but don't be so engulfed in their journey that you now forget about building your own self. The second one is people's pleasing. And please, before I go further, I want to give you these facts, and please don't forget them. Number 1 is people pleasing is not kindness. So please don't mistake it. People pleasing is often rooted in fear and low self-esteem. The second fact is you can still care about people and still put yourself first sometimes. So I'll never forget this thing that they always do in the airplane. So when you board an airplane, okay, they will explain that everybody, show you how to use those safety, gadgets if there's emergency. And I remember they will tell you that you should do it, protect yourself first, right? Before you can even look at someone else. What does that show you? So this is a typical example. Sometimes you have to put yourself first, even though you still care about others. The third fact is saying no when you need to is not selfishness. It is actually an act of self-respect. So now that we have understood these things, I would like to ask you this. Who told you that you can please everyone? Human beings are naturally unsatiable. And you have to remember this when you are agreeing to that expensive dinner outing, that you are to foot the bill. And you know for sure that your pocket is not ready for that kind of, expenses. But just because you don't want to say no, you have to agree. This is why being a people's pleaser will definitely sabotage your finances. And there are people that when they now, observe that you are this way, you're a people pleaser, they will now start using you because they know you can't say no. This can get you to sacrifice your own path to building wealth, and then you now get trapped in, pleasing people, or should I say, doing too much for people. So please, anytime you are saying yes to someone, make sure that it is not sabotaging you in any way. Next is caring too much about other people's opinion. This one is one of the things that, holds people back from achieving great things, even sometimes unknown to them. You can see someone that appears confident, but one way or the other, this caring too much about people's opinion, affects them. Let me even start with myself. You see the person talking to you, myself, the fact that I'm able to, hit that record button, sit down here and talk to as many amazing people that will come across my video is a breakthrough for me, because I've always been thinking about, what people will say, what people will think, even the most silliest things. I call them silliest things now, but then it was a big deal. I thought about what people would think about my English. Of course, I know I do make some, grammatical blunders, in my English. But I mean, English is not my first language. I also thought then if people will, accept my content and maybe if they will find me boring. These thoughts held me back for years until I break free. And I know maybe I would have grown bigger by now if I had started earlier. But honestly, no regrets, only lessons. And the fact that people click the like button on my video, they subscribe to my channel and they drop amazing comments proved a lot to me. And I would like to say a very big thank you to all my returning subscribers. You come here, you watch my videos, you put all those comments. You don't really know what the role you're playing in my life. Thank you so much. And please, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button just to encourage me to keep bringing quality content your way. And in this channel, there is no gatekeeping. Thank you all so much. So back to what we are saying. When you think so much about other people's opinion, you'll be living the life people want you to live, not the life you actually want to live. And this is not only exhausting, but it can lead to you, missing out on possibilities and opportunities that could come out of it. Because remember, being rich is not just about making money. You need to feel confident in yourself, in your abilities, and also be able to build the life you want. But truly speaking, you can't achieve this if you keep caring so much about people's opinion. So when you stop caring too much about the negative opinion of other people about you, that is when you start getting richer, richer in knowledge, richer in confidence, and richer in your pockets. Next is keeping up with appearances. And before I go ahead, I would like to say that I don't see anything wrong with, looking good. But I would like to remind you that looking rich and being rich, they are two different things. Appearing rich and being rich, actually, they are two different things. Yes, there are people that, they love fashion and they spend so much on wares. It's absolutely okay if you can afford it. And by being able to afford it, I mean, if you have cash flow from your investment, your assets that takes care of that lifestyle, if that is actually what gives you joy. Truly speaking, clothing are liabilities. So you need to pull yourself out of this, endless taste for flashy and bigger things that you think will make you happy. If you don't have, cash flow from any investment to, fix it, because if you don't, you will get trapped. It is called the hedonic treadmill. It will never make you happy, even if it does, it's just for a moment, and then you keep needing, more and more to continue feeling the same way. Do you remember when you first bought that clothes you so much desire, and by the time you wear it for the first, second time, the feeling is out of the window, and then you start browsing for, the next one. That is it. And what happens is that, the gap between being rich and looking rich becomes wider, because all those dollars you spend on those liabilities that depreciate. If you had invested them in, some sort of good stocks or maybe ETF that compounds over time, or even a business that grows in value, or real estate that generates you income, you would have become rich for real. When you look rich and not actually rich, you are not rich. You are only good at pretending to be rich. So next is caring so much about money. This may sound surprising to you, but please don't get me wrong. I don't mean you should despise money, because you can't attract what you despise. But when you are overly focused on money, you are likely to operate from a scarcity mindset. Scarcity mindset is when you believe that there is never enough, and then this will make you to start, chasing after money. This mindset can lead to fear-based decisions. It can also lead to you avoiding investing or business ideas. Do you see what I mean now? It can also lead to someone, overworking without building real wealth. In all the shifts, just overworking yourself, and what will happen to you is that you will get stuck in survival mode. Also, people that are obsessed with money often focus on quick wins like jumping into, trending get rich quick schemes, because obsession causes impatience and impatience destroys long-term financial growth. Money becomes your master and no longer a tool when you are obsessed with money. This can also lead to people staying in toxic jobs just for the paycheck. It can also turn people into becoming, greedy, stingy, and overly controlling. People who build wealth long term, they focus on providing values and solving problems. I really love this quote. It says, when you chase money, it runs. When you create value, money finds you. Wealth flows to those who serve purpose, not those who serve fear. Thank you all for watching my video. Please, if you enjoyed this video, you might also enjoy the video I will link in my comment section. So see you all in my next one.